I remember when um, we took out the Edwards Dam. Flow and American Whitewater had minor roles in that. There were more supportive roles than actually feet on the ground, although we did show up at a number of meetings where we provided testimony. And I remember when the dam was going to come down, at that time, I owned a very large greenhouse business, and I was very busy. And Andrew Fallon, who was working for HRC at the time, called me up and said, are you going up to the Edwards coming down? And I said, I can't. I said, I'm just too busy. And he said, well, you owe me. You were going to take me down to Deerfield and you didn't. So now I'm going to be up there, take me down to Kennebec. Meet me up there and, we'll go to taking the dam out and then we'll go run to Kennebec. So, he really kind of embarrassed me into that. And I'll tell you, that was one of the most exhilarating experiences I've ever had in my life. I was absolutely dumbfounded. It was the kind of issue that divided a community. What are these out-of-staters doing to us? Why can't it be the old way? That sort of thing. And I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. So I got up in the morning, had a leisurely breakfast. I drove over and I thought, what are all these people doing here? And I had to park half a mile away. And there were throngs and throngs of people that were gathering to watch this dam come down. Bruce Babbitt had come up from Washington. He was the Secretary of Interior at the time. Angus King was governor. It was electric. It was just absolutely electric. Mm. And this guy pulled up to the edge of the river where they'd already put in a cofferdam, and he was going to do the breach. And as he did the breach, because we were there, first we listened to the governor, we listened to the mayor, we listened to Bruce Babbitt. Then we went over to where they were actually doing the breach. And there was a French church, it was a very French community, located halfway up the escarpment. And as the breach began, the bells started to ring. And they rang and rang and rang. It was the rebirth of the river. And the next day, myself and some friends and Andrew, we got into our kayaks and canoes. And overnight, the water had dropped probably 17 feet. And overnight, we could see the fish coming up. Eagles were coming down and catching the fish. We had the Secretary of Environmental Affairs there at the time, the state secretary, and he was out there and he was like, wow, look at this, look at that. And the eagles, and they also had some osprey that, were living along the edge of the impoundment at the time. And they were going crazy catching the fish that were coming up the river. That happened overnight. We would get out along shore and it was kind of muddy and there'd be mussels laying on the shore, and we'd walk along the shoreline for a little bit. We'd pick the mussels up and throw them back into the water. It was an incredible experience. It really was.